What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. Look at it. We got the music rolling. We're going to have a good time over here today. But before we get into this, first of all, we got Erin Nagler, Cheesehead TV co-creator. But before we get into that, we got to talk about Quick Trip, sponsor of the show. And they have a brand new product coming out. And I'm going to introduce you right now. You might have already seen it because other people have been talking about it. But it is the new Glazers. Let's see if I can get that camera right. The new pink lemonade Dunker donuts. All right, and you dip these in vodka. You got a summer hummer donut. You know what I mean? I don't know if they want me to say that, but like, hey, Nagler, you've had a summer hummer, right?
I can't say that I have, but it sounds
little
delicious.
Lemonade, little vodka.
Sounds delicious.
You know what I mean? Doesn't matter the season. But pink lemonade Dunker donuts right over here, and check them out. They're gonna be at Quick Trip near you real soon. And like I say, I don't know if they want me to tell you to Dunker's vodka. It's probably not suggested, but like they're a good, summer treat. You know what I mean? Lemonade, summertime. We're in June. Let's get some new Quick Trip Dunker donuts. You know what I mean? But what is up, Nagler? How's it been?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks so much for having me. I love the music. I love the vibe. Most importantly, I'm just so impressed. I mean, there are so many content creators out there, doing their thing, and I love them all. Support everyone I can find. Like, it's amazing. But it's rare when you find a guy who's hosting a podcast inside the atrium at Lambeau Field. That's so impressive, dude. I'm shout out. That's great.
That is what I did because I was like, I have to get friends at West Hotchkiss to get inside the atrium.
That's got you in. Okay, I was wondering what was the in there. That makes sense.
Yeah, very good. You gotta have it in. No, but
gotta have it in, dude. Gotta have it.
I got my new basement set up. I'm down in the basement, but I don't have all the background. And I figured people don't want to stare at that freezer that's been back there for like 7 years. Everyone has a refrigerator.
I don't know. Do you know Joey at the Underage Podcast? Formerly of the Underage Podcast, the Packers podcast, but now moving on to bigger and better things and doing actual journalism. I mean, he did a whole gig in his basement with a cutout of like some insurance salesman, the mascot. So I'm just saying, people don't really care what the backdrop is so much as they care about the content. And when you bring the content.
No, that's what I would say. It's like my content's kind of trash, so I gotta have a good background.
If you say so, I say you're one of the foremost, purveyors of Packers takes on this here internet. That's
I do. If you want, like Bears fans, like they've been triggering me this year a little bit. And
what's up with that? What is going on there, Ramage?
Because
I've noticed. What is up?
Whenever I make a ranty video like trashing the Vikings or the Bears or usually not the Lions, it's always because they come in my comment section.
Right.
And talk trash. So then I get riled up a little bit. Like, I want to make a video and tell you how you're so stupid. But we're all stupid. It doesn't matter.
Essentially, we're all here in June talking about football, which doesn't happen for another month plus. So yeah, we're all a little stupid, no doubt about it.
Yeah, dude, we are. Dude, that is like you're the one guy, like Corey Venke and a few other guys, a few other people understand. Dude, even Barstool Big Cat, all right, Bears fan, your buddy.
Yep.
He doesn't know I'm alive, but I actually respect him because he talks trash, but he knows what it is. We're all just having fun. It's not that serious. People take it so serious.
It's a vibe, but it's so easy to just keep it that, right? It's so easy to keep it a vibe, but people automatically, especially online, take it over the line, right? And become really personal about it. It's like, I'm making fun of your football team. I'm not making fun of you. I'm talking about 100 years of evidence that suggests that the Packers own your ass and your team and franchise suck. Now, that's not a shot at you. I'm just suggesting that maybe you should look towards something else. That's all.
Yeah, dude, especially Viking fans.
They're the worst.
Bears
fans have at least history to draw from. They've had some success. Vikings,
but a Viking fan will comment on my stuff and I've been a Viking fan for 27 years. Like,
I'm
bro,
so sorry.
I am so sorry. Like, and you're out here just battling. I respect that. You know what I mean? You're out here
I'm
on a
that
Packers
is the
fan
I will
base, like
say
battling.
that is respect worthy, right? That does earn your respect
Yeah.
as any kind of fan, as far as if you know your team. Like, I will say there are plenty of Jets fans that I have become somewhat familiar with because of the Aaron Rodgers trade
Yeah.
who hated me through the whole process, right? Like, leverage gate and who has the leverage and what will the Packers get and why should the Jets give up whatever for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
They hated to hear all of that. But now they're kind of living through it, right? And they're like, "Oh, I get what you were saying, and I
Yeah.
understand it, and I really appreciate what you were saying last summer." It's like, and I'm not saying like they're still very happy to have Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback.
Yeah.
Give them Aaron for at least one season with like full health. I think they'll be a really
Yeah.
formidable team. But man, there's a lot that comes with Aaron Rodgers, and the fact that the Packers got draft capital out of it and got a boatload of talent because of it. That's a win. It's a win-win.
Yeah. So like briefly, like, do you think that the Jets are going to be, you know, assuming Aaron Rodgers stays healthy? Because
Right.
I want to see him stay healthy, obviously. But like,
Yes.
do you think the Jets are going to be a good football team?
Yes. Yes, I do. Absolutely. I think they'll be a playoff team. I don't think there's any doubt. If Rodgers stays healthy, they should win the division. Like, I know Dolphins fans don't want to hear it, but I don't see why they won't. Like, they're so good on defense. They're so good on defense. They won games because of their defense last year. They beat the Eagles with their defense last year. It's like they just need a quarterback, and they know that, and that's why they traded for Rodgers.
Well, yeah,
But
and
yeah, 100%. They'll if Rodgers stays healthy, plays all 17 games, they make the playoffs. No question in my mind.
there we go. There we go. All right. Also, I want to give a big shout to Nick Law. You know, wearing the hat over here, a sponsor of yours as
Yes,
well.
sir.
You
Yes,
know,
sir.
you don't need to call Saul. Call Nick Law. I'm trying to sell him on that. I think that should be shirts.
Is that your pitch? That's pretty good. I will
Yeah.
say, as a fellow Nicolay kind of sponsor person esque, like they absolutely support what we do at Cheesehead TV. That's the thing, right? You're trying to come up with something unique because they are pretty ubiquitous at this point in the
Yeah.
Wisconsin firmament. I would love to come up with something that is unique to the Cheesehead TV brand. I will
Yeah.
say, don't call Saul, call Nickel. What would you say? Nicolay Law. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
Don't
pretty
call
good.
Saul. Call
That's
Nick
well done.
Law.
Ramage, come on now.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
You know, they should hire
What?
me as
Now
also.
you're like they should give me a little extra for the.
No,
for the
no,
tip.
I'm like, I could be like their marketing of their whole team. But then you'll get cut out. I'm like,
Ramage,
Cheesehead TV's got to go.
I hate to break this to you, but I don't think that's a really great idea for them. I think partnering with you is smart, but that's where it should stop. That's where.
Yeah, that's where it shut it down. All right, so we're gonna
Shut her
ask you
down.
some questions. All right, so everyone who is tuning in, like and hammer the comment section, and be sure to share. You know what I mean? Grandma might want to
Let
watch.
people know. I'm a little
know what I
buzzed up,
mean?
Ramage. Ramage, how
I'm a
you
little
doing?
buzzed up.
How are you on the buzz meter? Because
Dude,
all I know is
am-
that I don't know if it was last time I was on or a couple times ago, but like I got all buzzed up, and then you were like straight sober. You were like,
Yeah,
I don't know if Quick Trip is going to appreciate me being buzzed up, so I got to be
yeah.
straight laced. I'm like,
No,
you're Matt Ramage.
you know,
They signed up for you being buzzed up.
I know people are like, hey, I didn't come out here to talk to you sober. If I want
I'm
to
not.
talk,
You said it, not me. You said
yeah,
it.
you know what I mean. But
Not
like
me.
tonight, that is not a worry. That is
I'm
not.
all buzzed up,
I
brother.
just
That's what I'm
spilled
talking about.
my backup beer. You know what I mean? But no, I actually made some banners. I made some like good football talk.
Wait, you did
right?
like pre-production? Oh,
Yeah,
my
I did.
new
I don't have a
world out
team.
here.
I don't have a team. I don't have Live X backing me up. You know what I mean?
Oh, I wish I had Live X backing me up.
Yeah.
We have Tyler. We have Tyler Herrick.
Well, I need a Tyler.
Yeah, you do.
Like a Tyler who doesn't want to get paid. You know what I mean?
If you're out there in the biz, hey, I'll tell you though, hey, this is how it works, right? But like if you're out there in the biz, Tyler Herrick started by literally, as far as his social Packers media thing, he started by just shooting us an email out of nowhere. Cold call, like shot us an email, like I really like to do some social media with you guys. And that was how it started. So if you're out there and you're like Matt Ramage, he's the bomb.com. I really want to work with him. And you're like an up and comer and like in the social space, give Matt a shout. Got to do it.
Yeah, because like once stuff,
he needs the help. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, maybe I turn into Tom Crabtree or Aaron Nagler.
You never know. You never
know. And then you were there.
For you, I hope it's Grassi and not Nagler, but I feel I appreciate the sentiment.
All right, so I want to ask you about some good football stuff because a lot of people tuning in. Whenever they tune into my show, they never get smarter. But today they're going to get a little bit smarter. You know what I mean?
Relax. All right, let's do it.
But we got ourselves a new CEO, new president of the Green Bay Packers, Ed Policy, and I know that you know who he is and where he comes from and what he's about. Right. I don't know anything, but I know the name Ed Policy. Right. Sounds like he's about to like get on some Geico stuff. You know what I mean?
He sounds like he's all business, doesn't it? I mean, your name's Ed Policy. You better be all business.
Dude, Ed, the name Ed Policy, first of all, is so good in the business world. Like, it's so good. Like, it
just says he didn't have a business. Choice. That's it.
You know, because like from an infant, from on, they're like, hey. This dude's smart. This dude's gonna do something.
You're not about skipping school and going and having parties. Like you're about policy. Like you're about
all the kids that I was growing up with, not one of them named Ed Policy. You know what I mean?
Not a single one.
He's been in the Packers organization for a minute. Yep. So I saw a little bit of like what he said. He loves the culture. He loves like all that stuff. But I'll let you talk.
I loved his quotes, by the way. I loved his quotes.
So who is he? Like educate the people on who this man is.
Well, the 30-second view is he's Carmen Policy's kid, who Carmen is the spearhead of the business side and kind of the franchise side of the 49ers when they were winning Super Bowls in the 80s. And then he went to Cleveland, but we won't talk about that. But yeah, Ed's been with the Packers for 13 years now. The Packers plucked him out of the New York office for the league here in New York at 345 Park. He had been working there for a number of years. He was kind of head league counsel for the Packers and then became COO and has been, I'm not going to say developed. I mean, we've made jokes at Cheesehead TV about, draft and develop at the CEO position, which is seemingly what the Packers have done here. But they did kind of hire him with the idea that he might be able to become the guy who succeeds Mark Murphy. Now, that has clearly come to fruition here, right? There's no doubt. I do, 100% understand why the Packers had to have the search they had, as far as I believe they cast the net as wide as like 90 people, and then they whittled it down. There were 25 finalists. They spent the last couple of weeks talking to them, both over Zoom and in person at Lambeau. And I'm sure more and more of those names will become public as kind of this process or this.
I think my name was on there.
Yeah, Matt Ramage, Corey Banke, Tom Grassi. I believe Wes Hodkiewicz was in the mix, but these folks.
I heard he was 88.
Yeah, exactly. But so Policy now is the guy. And look, I don't think there's any doubt. If you're a Packers fan, you should be very happy about it. I don't want to say excited because it's really hard to get excited about,
Dude, I'm excited.
Stuff, right?
Let's drink to this.
There you go, my guy. Come on, let's drink to it. Cheers to Ed Policy. That's what I'm talking about. Salute Ed Policy. If there's anywhere else, there's no other podcast where we will be fucking drinking and cheersing Ed Policy. Come on.
Dude, we will. I'll drink Ed Policy. First of all, just that name.
It's great.
You give me the last name Policy, bro. I'm not working at a cheese factory.
There you go.
I'll tell you that.
Why are you still? Now, there's my other. Okay, we won't go down that road. But when are you going to quit that job? Because you should be doing this full time. Why are you still working? You still really talk about working. Why are you working?
Dude, I'm a man of the people.
Yeah.
No,
that's a fair point. It's a fair point.
No, it's not, because I would quit if I could. The insurance is really good. The insurance is really good.
Hey, you're a family man. I get it. I get it. Bro.
The day I can quit my job is the day I will quit my job. And I won't even have a production in 2 weeks. No, it'll be like, I can quit.
No, I'm out.
I'm out.
Nicolay gave me another kind of contract extension. I'll make a video
in the parking lot.
Don't call Saul. I quit. I love it.
I love it so much. But I'm really grateful for my job because they watch this. some of the people, the
Matt
supervisors and
doing the
stuff.
180, like I'd quit
Yeah,
tomorrow, but I love it there.
you know what I mean.
They're really
Yeah, I
they're really
got
good to me.
I got supervisors who watch my podcast, so I like my job. You know what I mean? But
I feel you.
anyway, we got Aaron
I'd quit
Nagler in the
tomorrow
building.
too. I'd quit tomorrow too, but Corey Banky is watching. So
Yeah,
Corey,
Corey
love you, brother.
Banky, he's on me. You know what I mean? I was gonna have him on, but like
There
I
you
was
go.
like,
Local. Let's go.
I don't like talking to bosses.
I feel you.
No, I'm just kidding. I love Corey Banky. I think Corey Banky is probably my number one favorite online personality. Dude, he's so. First of all, because like, let's talk about Banky right here for a second.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Whenever he posts a video of like his professional life and he's talking to people, like a lot of people, he's talking about smart stuff.
Right.
Like, I watch him and I'm like, that's a different human than I know. You know, and then you watch him on like.
How many times? That's 100%. So spot on as far as like you can watch him talk about live streaming, right, or event production or whatever, and he's so smart, he's so together, and it's like he's like so on point and laser focused. And I'm like, this is the same guy who was triggered on day 3 of the draft a couple years ago about some Yelp review, or I'm sorry, a Google review of his favorite meat shop in like like legit, like absolute meltdown about it. I'm like, that's the same person. How is that possible? Like, but yes, you're absolutely right. Banky's
he's a very unique person. You know what I mean? Like you get like if you watch all of his content.
Correct.
Like you know the smart stuff like you mentioned.
We're talking about like the business stuff, right? The business stuff, and then there's the Packer stuff, and then
the garden
we haven't even talked about the garden stuff.
Yeah, the garden stuff.
He's like
his garden content.
10th like wizard level gardener. Like dude,
that's how I know. Whenever you talk about your gardening out loud, I know that's a level of age. Because I've been in the locker room at work, right? I work at a cheese factory. Been in the locker room, and whenever people start like, I just planted my tomatoes. I'm like, bro, like, dude, you're like, retire. You're like, you're too old.
It's over.
Retire. Like, it's
over.
If I ever start, and there's nothing wrong with like planting a nice tomato, especially Corey, he's got a nice little thing at Shadow's Lambo, so it's like got a little extra.
That's the thing. No. Wait. He doesn't have a nice little thing. He has a like. You know, if there's the Terminator of gardens, that's Corey's garden. Like, he doesn't just garden a little bit. He's got like the most amazing garden because he has the most amazing home right across from Lambeau. Like everything with Corey is like, if you've been to his house, you've seen his like the wine cellar like presentation. Like you've got like the most amazing liquor and you got the most amazing beer fridge. Corey doesn't do anything half-ass. It's like everything's amazing around him.
Dude, like Corey's house is so good that like I told someone like after I was there for the first time, he kind of showed me like a lot of the stuff in his house, and I was like, I can't even tell you, bro. Like, this is top secret stuff.
Very top secret.
I'm not gonna go ahead and start
nothing more top secret than his cutout of Mike Holmgren in the basement. Which when my daughters visited a couple years ago, we went there. We drove up to see Corey. I was in Appleton. We drove up to see Corey and Rachel, and we went down to he was giving the tour, like the whole thing. And there's the cutout of Mike Holmgren, and my youngest daughter, Olive, was like, "What the hell is that?" Mike Holmgren, he freaked her out. It was good.
Dude, he's got so much cool stuff. He's got like whatever. I don't want to get into it because I don't want to shame. I don't want to give it away.
I feel you.
No.
Yeah,
but I do want to
give away the state secrets.
You had Jordy Nelson. You had a nice chat with Jordy Nelson on your podcast. For everyone who's listening or watching, be sure to check out Cheesehead TV's YouTube. Great interview with Jordy Nelson.
Thanks,
first of all, how do you get these interviews? People ask me that all the time because I get like,
all right.
No, but like Jordy Nelson.
Relax.
Jordy Nelson.
Okay, Mister. I had like every Packers player on the roster on my channel last year. Yeah, last year. Like, yo, I'm going through my Twitter feed and my social feeds. Like last year, every day, you were like, "Oh, I got Kenny Clark. I got Preston Smith. I got whoever." You had everybody last year. So don't come up in here and like pretend you don't know how you get them. We had a really lovely gentleman named Josh reach out to us from Sports Fans Travel regarding Jordy's trip to Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to get the word out because there are a few spots left. They're very, very close to filling up, but they have a few spots left for Sports Fans Travel's trip to Brazil with Jordy Nelson. If you haven't made your plans, if you're out there and you're a Packers fan, you're thinking, oh, I really want to go watch the Packers in Brazil, this is the way to do it. Jordy Nelson, it's like all inclusive. So you get they deal with the flights, they book the hotels, they transportation to the arena. You get a pre-game like tailgate with Jordy. You get a night before the game dinner with Jordy. Like it's an amazing package.
At the end of this thing, you are best friends with Jordy Nelson.
Yes,
this is what it would take. If I win this, I'll quit my job.
There's Jordy and his friends. Like you want to talk about power ranking, it's like me, Aaron Rodgers is here, and then probably Randall Cobb. Like 100%. Yeah. I'm his best friend. Yeah, no doubt.
Because it seems like a lot of time with Jordy. I think Jordy. I'm not sure he knows what he signed up for. Because who knows who's going to get this thing?
A lot of Jordy. Hey man, people know Jordy too. I'll tell you this. Under anything we posted off that interview, whether it's the interview itself on YouTube, any of the social posts around it on any platform, X, Instagram, anything, right? Facebook, every single one of them, there is someone going, and probably mostly multiple people saying, my favorite Packer ever. I love Jordy. X, Y, Z. Yeah. Like everyone loves that dude. And for good reason. He was great, right? He was an amazing.
He was great. And dude, I think the same thing with Favre, like in his prime. Right. People like farmers. You talk about like going to cut grass. You talk about
love farmers. Can I get? I need that. That's a cheese. You can't take it, Ramage. I'm taking that. That's a Cheesehead TV shirt. That's a shirt. People love farmers. And there's a picture of like Favre and Jordy, and I'm all in.
Yeah, because remember, like that was everything was Favre. Like, oh, he's gonna go cut his grass. Like, no, we all have grass. We're all cutting grass.
Every one of us has to. Dude,
that's all they were talking about. Like, you're gonna retire? Like, it was like for 3 years. You're gonna cut your grass?
I love that. I absolutely love that. That's hilarious. Like,
the same thing with Jordy. But one thing I do want to ask you, I got a bunch of banners here, so I'm gonna use them. I'm not gonna waste them.
You know what I mean? Do it.
All right. So you asked Jordy Nelson about the Hall of Fame. All right.
Damn right I did.
Yeah, you did. It was a great question too, and it was a great clip, the whole thing. But do you think Jordy Nelson gets in the NFL Hall of Fame? Because for people who don't know, who haven't watched the Jordy Nelson conversation, in which you will after this, probably already clicked off this and went and watched that anyways. But
just stop.
No, but like he was very bashful. He's like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. Whatever. Jordy Nelson, do you think he gets in the Hall of Fame? The NFL.
I'm glad you asked it that way. I don't think he does. I think he deserves to. Like, there's no doubt in my mind as far as his contribution to the game. He's a Super Bowl champion, right? The talk about the Hall of Fame is you can't tell the story of the NFL without them. Well, you can't talk about the Packers Super Bowl victory in Super Bowl 45 without Jordy Nelson. He scored the first touchdown. Like, he helped them. He had like a monster game in that game. He would have set Super Bowl records. I didn't say this to him, obviously, but like he would have set multiple Super Bowl records if he had caught a few more balls because he had a couple drops in that game, right? But you can't tell the story of the NFL without the Hall of Famers. Well, Jordy is intricate to the Packers winning a Super Bowl. The Packers, which, by the way, are the one of the most storied, if not the most storied franchise in the history of the NFL. And I know everyone looks at the numbers, right? It's always metrics. Yeah. It's like, what do they do? How long do they do it? If Jordy doesn't get hurt, and again, this is the Sterling Sharp thing, right? If Jordy doesn't get hurt, he's the dominant receiver of his era. Like, you cannot deny his effectiveness, his consistency, which is something he kept bringing up with me, like, for good reason. Like, that's the sign of greatness, right?
Yeah.
I understand the knocks against him, and I think that's what will ultimately probably keep him out, especially early in his tenure while he's a modern day kind of, nominee. Maybe down the line, we're like 30 years down the line, maybe someone brings it up. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's Cheesehead TV. Maybe it's the next iteration. I don't know, but maybe
It's your
someone
daughter.
down the line, because right now I'm that squeaky wheel talking about Sterling Sharp. That's what I feel
Yeah.
like. Because Sterling Sharp should have been in as a actual
Good.
early nominee,
Yeah.
zero doubt. Other than
Yeah.
Jerry Rice, he was the most dominant receiver of his era. You can't argue that. You cannot argue that. So I'm looking at Jordy Nelson and saying probably doesn't happen through the first kind of wave, right? But if we're talking about senior nominees later in life, I hope there's someone keeping the torch lit for Jordy because he absolutely deserves it. No question about it in my mind.
Yeah, see, that is what I always say about the Hall of Fame is can you tell the NFL story
without him?
Yeah. And so to tell the NFL story in the years of Jordy's time, the Packers winning the Super Bowl, and even when they weren't, they were
and even when they weren't,
they were one of the
a
important
championship.
teams.
Exactly. How many games were they winning? How many playoff games did you watch them?
And Jordy, you can't tell that story without Jordy Nelson.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
But I get they're. I don't expect it to happen. Especially
I don't either.
Right away,
like I said early in the initial process, I doubt it happens. But hopefully later on, hopefully while he's still with us, I hope it happens. I really do.
Yeah,
hopefully he's
still. Hopefully he's.
I mean, that's the thing, though, right?
You
see these guys get in posthumously, and it's the most depressing shit ever.
Yeah, they're let them in the Hall of Fame. They're just just kind of they're all
Can I just say one thing? Soder, who is a longtime Patreon member and friend of Cheesehead TV, says Sharp and Driver are ahead of Jordy on the list to get into the Hall of Fame. I disagree about Driver. I disagree. I think Driver is the most productive guy to play in Green Bay, and there's zero doubt about that because he's the leading receiver of all time. That's undoubtedly the truth. But I don't think anybody could watch those games. If you go back and actually watch those games that they played in, and tell me that Jordy Nelson wasn't more effective, consistent, and a problem for the defense in a way that they had to account for him. There was not a defensive coordinator saying we start our defense with how do we stop Donald Driver? He was a problem, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But no one's waiting up at night going, oh, how do we contain Donald Driver? Donald Driver just did his thing repeatedly.
Yeah, he was
really great quarterback. Yeah. But Jordy Nelson was a fucking problem.
Yeah, he was that guy.
Yeah. That's the difference to me.
I get that.
And that's what I mean when people talk about metrics. It's people look at the numbers and say, oh, Driver's better. It's no. Jordy Nelson was a better wide receiver.
Yeah. Donald Driver, yeah, because that's almost like you get stoned for that kind of stuff around. You start talking to stuff at stadium view.
Right.
You might walk off with a lumped up head. No, but everyone loves Donald Driver, but Donald Driver, he was.
I love Donald Driver. I love Donald Driver.
Yeah, he was that dude that just made stuff happen. But Jordy Nelson was yeah, he was it. But I want to get to this comment right here because they paid me. Big shout out. We got. I don't get these often, Nagler. You brought this in. I should probably give you $1. Today ain't much, but it's on $2. I appreciate you. Dog
130. Come on, Dog 130. Let's go, Dog 130. What's up, Dog 130? I love that Dog 130 didn't even ask a question. He didn't want to know anything. He wasn't even what do you guys think about this? He was just
he was
here's $2.
He's I don't even care what you guys are talking about. I just that was basically that was charity. He's whatever.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know how
Matt, I'm not gonna lie. He was let me keep Ramage's YouTube channel going. That was you're walking by a homeless guy, and you're I kind of like his vibe. Okay, here's $2. That's kind of what he did right there.
Just keep it moving. You know what I mean? This is a good question. I think this is my question.
Oh,
if you could bring one Wisconsin-based company to New York, which one would you choose? These questions are all over the board.
I love it. I love this question. And it's not even no hesitation. It's New Glarus. I would bring, if I could get New Glarus just in the state, it doesn't have to be in the city, in the state producing so I could go any store. I could go to my local, but dude, if I could walk out my door right now and go to my local bodega and pick up anything, Moon Man, Spotted Cow, anything from New
So
Glarus,
let
not
me
only
ask
would
you
I
this.
be 500 pounds, I would just never leave the radius of my life. Like
This
it
is
would be
my life.
me, the laundry, the bodega, life. That's it. Because I watch all my Packers games here. Like I do my streaming. Like that'd be it. You'd never see me in Wisconsin again. Like it'd be
So
over.
if you could have one New Glarus beer over there, just one that's always available at your local
Oh,
bodega, as you call it,
right.
uh,
Yep.
what beer is that?
Yeah. I know the initial kind of response from most folks coming nationally to Wisconsin uh would be Spotted Cow, but I will say Moon Man. I love Moon
Moon
Man.
Man.
Two Women is right there. It's like right underneath. But
Yeah,
I gotta admit, it's probably Moon Man. I mean, here's my thing though. I
yeah.
do get upset when people are like, because I go home, right? And I all automatically get a Spotted Cow first. Because that's the one, right? That's
Yeah,
the North Star when it comes to
yeah,
Wisconsin. I love Spotted Cow. I love it. Corey Banky will tell you, I will drink him out of Spotted Cow when he
yeah.
has it. I do every
He-
summer. No question about it.
he's never not had it when I was there.
No, he always has it. He always
Yeah.
has it until I drink him out of it. But Moon Man is my favorite. Like no question. But the moment I have a Spotted Cow on camera or I talk about it online, inevitably there is some fucking Wisconsin nerd going, Moon Man is actually better. I know. I love
Yeah.
Moon Man.
Dude, I'm not a
But
big fan of
Spotted
Moon Man.
Cow is like,
I
it's just
Dude,
the
I'm
essence.
like the most like I'm a very picky eater, right? I think it's the same thing with drinking. I don't really
Right,
like Moon Man because I bought Moon Man in accent because it looks a lot like Spotted Cow in those boxes,
right.
and I bought it, so I tried it, and I didn't love it. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I like Spotted Cow more. But like, I'm such a like people so much make fun of my drinking because I drink Coors Light. Like I don't care. I
That's fine.
drink,
And that's fine. Drink what you drink, man. Drink
dude,
what you
because like
dig. That's what it's all
let me
about.
ask you this, Nagler. Let me ask you this.
There's no worse human on this earth than someone who belittles you for what you drink. No,
Yeah,
no worse human. No
because
worse
you've
human.
been to a lot of Wisconsin barbecues, right? Tailgate type of
Oh,
situation. When
sir,
everyone's bringing their
sir,
own beer,
whatever
right?
you want. Drink what you
When
want. Drink
everyone's
what
bringing their own
moves
beer,
you.
if
Yes,
you go to a
1000% correct.
barbecue tailgate, everyone's bringing their own beer. There's going to be like 36 different types of beers.
Unless it's Blue Moon, then you should rot in hell. But that's another conversation.
No, but like people always because like if I pull out a Coors like on a stream or whatever, like I thought you were
Oh,
from Wisconsin.
you
Like dude,
actually
people,
you actually pull it out on a stream? That's bold. That's bold, Ramage.
I'm drinking it right
That's
now.
bold.
People, that's why I
Sir,
started drinking Spotted
sir.
Cow. That's why I started
No,
drinking
that's
Spotted
bold.
Cow.
That's
People
bold.
stop making fun of me. No, but like if you go to a barbecue or tailgate, everyone's bringing their own beer. You're gonna have Pabst, you're gonna have Miller Lite, you're gonna have Coors
Yes.
Light, you're gonna have
You have a
Bud Light,
Schlitz in
you're gonna
there?
have every type of light, Bush Light, and then you're gonna have a bunch of Pabst and like the people who like get after it. Those people are fighting
Yes,
later.
sir. Soder just threw in Oshkosh Lager. I will say, I never had an Oshkosh Lager until I was at Banky's 2 summers ago, and he had one in his beer fridge. And I will admit, I didn't like it. I'll never have it again. But I've had an Oshkosh Lager, so that's good.
So what's the word on carry the G beer?
The latest iteration of Carry the G will be available in stores around Wisconsin in late August. Unfortunately, it won't be around and available when I'm in Wisconsin from late July to mid August, but it will literally hit store shelves across the state just after I leave, like training camp
And
back for New York, etc. But the exciting part is there's a good chance, and this is not official yet, but I'll tell you and 12
ooh,
of our favorite friends here. There's a good chance that it will be available outside the state lines. I'm not at liberty
ooh.
to say where. It
Oh,
won't be available everywhere, but it will be available outside of Wisconsin for the first time ever. Stay tuned. Watch some space. We'll let you know very soon.
yeah. So, dude, I didn't carry the G beer though. the best name. Like, I don't care. I mean, I taste it. It
You
tastes
thank
good.
Aaron Rodgers
But
for
like,
that. I mean,
carry
God
the
bless him.
G beer. Why is that?
Well, he had the comment in his presser back in, I think it was 2017, where he was like asked about the team going away during a bye week, and he was asked, what is your message to the team? I think he name checked himself, Big Dog, and Tramon Williams, the vets, right, saying,
Yeah.
don't this up. We've got something special going. Carry the G wherever you go, right? Like, you are reflective of the organization. Whatever you're doing, don't mess up. So for Corey and I, the moment he said that, we were like,
we have to.
this is what a great phrase. And like Rodgers, to his credit, he did indicate later on, I can't remember where it was. It was in an interview where he said that he had heard that from someone else. So it wasn't his kind of invention, but he's the one who made it public, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's amazing. So Corey and I obviously
money off that.
Well, I don't know about that, but we hopped on it, right? Like, that's a mindset. That's an idea. That's like, love that. So yeah, that was the genesis.
I wish I would have thought of it, because I'd have, I've actually had ideas.
You hopped on that.
I've had ideas for shirts like around Carry the G, but I'm like, Cheesehead TV's got it locked up. I know.
Oh, I mean, you're not kidding.
No, but I still wouldn't. No, but I
literally, dude, you joke or you jest, but let me tell you, the whole kind of impetus for us putting out the beer initially was to lock down the trademark.
Yeah, I would not.
True story.
Even if it wasn't trademarked, I still get crap for Bears Still Suck. Like, that's not original. Like, I didn't say I invented it.
I know. No one.
So let's talk about that. The Bears still suck a little bit.
They do indeed. They do.
No, because I want to talk about what the Bears still suck, the slogan, what it means to me, right?
All right. Right.
It's like, all right, so you drafted Caleb Williams. Let's pretend we already know he's going to be great, like the Bears fans seem to think.
Like,
right?
Great.
No, I'm not going to.
Did you just say, let's imagine?
No,
let's imagine Caleb Williams is going to be great.
In Fairyland world, right? I don't believe this.
Okay,
right?
Hold on. Ramage. Give me 20 seconds. I'll be right back. Hold on.
All right. Nagler's got to go. But I think he's got a bathroom break. You know what I mean? Like, how long has this thing been going on? All right, we're at 37 minutes. All right. I just want to make sure I'm not holding his bladder too much. You know what I mean? Now he's back.
I only brought 2 beers to this party, but now I need a third, because you just talked about Caleb Williams being great.
No,
but now we need a third.
What I'm saying is, like, when I think the Bears still suck, it means doesn't matter what good thing is happening, the Bears still suck.
Right.
They win a football game, the Bears still suck. They win a playoff game, the Bears still suck. They get to NFC Championship game in 2010.
Bears still suck.
Bears still suck.
Dude, they went to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman as their quarterback. They had,
and you know what?
Now their Hall of Fame kick returner, which is bullshit, but return a kick for a touchdown. Like, awesome. I'm really happy for you. The Bears still suck. Dude, it doesn't matter what they do.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's a mindset. It's a vibe. It's the Bears still and will always suck.
Dude, I don't think that some young folks understand this.
They don't. They take it all literally. It's the internet age, and it's not just young fans. It's some certain members of the Packers beat don't understand.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about some of the people that the Packers beat, because I'm a little buzzed up, right? So I'm going to ask you the good question, right?
Oh,
because
what's going to happen now, Ramage? Is that where you're going? All right, let's go.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about Rob Demovsky. I'm a little buzzed up. His name's hard to say. His name can be hard to say. All right. A lot of Packer fans aren't thrilled about him all the time. I met him at Quarterbacky's house, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And he had no clue who I was. He was like, "What's this prick doing here?" No, but he was so nice. He was a very nice guy. He was very good.
Yep.
I don't want to blow his cover. I think I know some people.
I don't want to make him out to be a good guy when he's an asshole. Yeah, I'm kidding.
No, but I think he's a good guy. But you got any dirt on some of these guys? Like, you got Wes. Wes seems super clean, right?
What?
Wes is actually my favorite. He's my favorite beat guy.
Dirt on Wes. All right. Well, here, Ramage. You want to be talk
Yeah,
about?
don't
You want to talk?
we got
No, you want to talk
no,
about
no, we're not.
education. You want to
We
talk
got
about
time.
education. The Packers beat the beat writers who cover the Packers does not include Wes. Wes is a
No,
employee of the Green Bay
yeah,
Packers who I love and who I think does an amazing job and is probably the best at his position across the firmament of the NFL
yeah, I
because
think so.
there was a kind of push from league teams, right, to go out and gobble up talent from the local press, right? They lucked out with Wes because Wes is absolutely incredible when it comes to his ability to look at the team and know exactly what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong, and his ability to express that through the written word, usually through his, answers on inbox, but
Yeah,
also when he's got a microphone in front of him, he has an unbelievable ability to kind of frame it in a way that tells you, you know what, this is the Packers' way of working. This is how they were thinking when they made this move, or when they did what they did, or this player messed up and blah, blah, blah. Well, he needs to be more consistent. He needs to be better or whatever. Wes is incredible in that regard, reminding us what we're watching. It's
yeah,
entertainment. These are guys performing at the highest level and getting, yes, a handsome, compensation for doing so, but they're just, performing. That's what they're
yeah,
doing. And Wes puts it in a window where we can look at and go, "Oh, right, right. I'm trying
and
to
he's
enjoy this." And
yeah,
yes, this guy maybe messed up, maybe it was a mistake, but this is something I'm trying to enjoy.
yeah,
That's Wes's genius, I think.
yeah. I do. I think Wes is the best. Uh, I had him on my show, and I asked him. I was like, "Are you allowed to say bad stuff?"
Right.
Because he works at Packard, but he said he is.
Well,
But
but
no,
to your
but like
point, there's
I think
there's
he's
people
so
on the
good.
beat. There are people on the beat who only live to say bad stuff,
Yeah,
right?
they wake up. They didn't like.
But
What's
they're
that?
objective. Oh, I'm being objective, but all I ever write is the bad shit and
Yeah,
people
dude.
who
I don't.
did mess up, and I'm second guessing everything with the
Ooh,
benefit of hindsight, you know?
who does that?
I won't, I don't need to start a war, Ramage.
I'm trying to feel feisty. Like, we want to start something?
You know what? Here's the fun part is that like Corey Banky will say all of these things. Like
Yeah,
he'll say
well,
like this guy's awful, that whatever, blah blah blah. Like he doesn't have to go then into 1265 or anywhere on the road on a press box or a media auditorium and have to like exist with these people. Like there are folks who on
yeah,
the beat who I really respect. There are people who I won't give the time of day to. There are people in between who I think are just living their life and trying to do their job, and that's fine. Like, not everyone needs to be a Packers fan or a super fan or whatever. But I
yeah,
do appreciate people who are fair. Just be
yeah. And
fair.
like,
That's all I ask.
when it comes to like beat writers, I don't care. Like, there's a few guys like I watch or I listen to, like I follow or whatever, and other ones who are probably great too. But like, I don't follow everyone because like I don't need to see the same thing 12 times
100 times,
or
right?
yeah. So like, but like, I don't hate though. Like, I joke, but like, I don't hate because like, even if guys who I know, like, I wouldn't call them out either because
Because it's like, what is it? How does it
yeah,
affect your? How does it affect
because
your
you're a
life?
douchebag if
How
you
does it
do.
affect your life? Right? Like
Yeah,
as a fan, like if you don't like, oh, dude, I only say this because I get this all the time, right? Like, I hate how you cover the Packers. Great.
there's like another
It
option,
it doesn't like cost you anything to just keep scrolling or just ignore it
dude.
or not follow. Like, okay,
That's
great.
the
So it's
thing. Like,
not
with
for you.
That's the
Awesome.
thing
Move
about
on with your
Packer
life.
fans. There's so many Packer fans that are covering the Packers. Like, I don't
Yes.
consider myself to
Correct.
be covering the Packers. I talk about the Packers.
You
People
talk
like
about the
you
Packers.
cover
Right.
the Packers. Like, I don't cover them. Like I might cover a foot every now and again. And I copy what you do and I put it on my Facebook. Hey, Nagler said that this
Nagler said
happened.
this. Hey, I
No, but
do.
like,
I will say though. I will say in that regard, I do appreciate that you will take my tweet, right? You'll say, such and such happened, like whatever breaking news it is, and you always source it. So I appreciate
oh
that.
yeah, I always try to like take that tweet because
No,
like
no, you
otherwise
take it
you
and
just
you
feel
source it.
otherwise
That's
yeah
appropriate. The
yeah
worst is when I'm not going to call
this is
anybody out again, but there are
it's
people there on this here internet, specifically mostly on some of the meta platforms, whether it's Facebook
yeah
or Instagram, who will just take whatever is reported and post it. And they don't even
well
say
yeah
I'm reporting this; they just post it. And
yeah
it's
they
like
just like kind of
you
reword it
only
like
know that
in a
because of
way
someone else.
yeah
You should
because like
let
I
people
don't
know who that
even if
is.
it's only time like I don't do that if it's like if I'm late to the game and like 27 people already reported it, then I
Right, right.
might kind of
Well, yeah,
advance a little
no.
bit.
There, I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
There, I get
but usually I always try to get this
it. Yep.
get the credit because like I'm not a reporter. Anyway, I'm gonna get to this comment right here.
All right.
Look, here we go. We got ourselves super chat 499.
Let's
That's
go. Our sense of humor.
a beer, you know, if you're in a small town Wisconsin over
Come
here.
on now.
What's up? Our simple humor says, my whole goal in life is to be hanging out with Ramage and Nagler in New York City and then heading to a Packers game at MetLife Stadium. Woo!
Let's go,
Okay.
Kevin.
Dude, all right, so let me ask you about New York. Dude, I have a few questions over here.
Right.
We are getting great on time over here. But like, dude, like you go on subways all the time.
Every
'Cause
day.
I'm from a small town Wisconsin. Let me ask you, we're gonna get a couple minutes
Right.
over here.
Yeah.
So like all the TikToks, like do you see crazy stuff on the subway all the time? Like is there like midget fights and all this type of stuff? That's what I want to know. 'Cause I've never been to a big city
No,
like
that
that.
is not New York. There is some of that, right? Like I would say
Every now and again.
if I took the subway 10 times in 2 weeks, right? I'd probably see something like that, not that specifically, obviously, but something like that probably once or twice, maybe. Like it's not like I will say the vibe mostly in New York is very positive. Like you see a lot of, maybe certain news organizations like to play up how quote unquote dangerous it is, but it's like it's New York. Yes, it's dangerous at times. Like that's part of the gig.
Yeah.
It's part of the vibe, right? But I've never, ever, ever, ever felt afraid on a New York subway. I've only ever had
Yeah.
a great time. Now, I will say, I understand for women later at night, especially, like, the subway can be a little dicey and you probably want to avoid it. But yeah, no, the subway's great. I love New York. I love the fact that I can
Good,
hop
yeah.
on a subway and be from my place, like here in Astoria, I can be downtown in like 40 minutes and be at a world-renowned club or
Yeah,
an
you'd be anywhere.
amazing art museum. I can get to the Met from my place in less than a half an hour on the subway. You know what I mean?
Dude,
So
like
I just I think New York, I'm very defensive about New York because I know it gets a bad rap,
and I'm not
but
talking
New
trash
York's amazing.
because New York is like one of the cities that like because I'm a small town dude. Like I the biggest city I've ever been in is Milwaukee. Like I'm like and I wasn't a big fan of that. And Milwaukee's a great city.
I
I
love
don't know
Milwaukee.
people that
I
kill me.
love
And
Milwaukee.
whenever someone says something bad about Milwaukee, I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying
Right.
it's like I'm like Green Bay was like the biggest like I grew up around.
Right.
And now I live in a town with like 4,000 people just north of Green Bay. So like when I see like videos of New York, it's like very, very interesting. Like that building that's like in a triangle that's real skinny, like that main street in New
Yep.
York.
Yep.
Facebook shows me like the history, like 1902, that was that, in New York.
I
And then they'll
love
like show
those.
you like
I
this
love
was New
those.
York in
Yeah.
1760. Like I didn't know they had drones back then, but like I do love those pictures. Like kind of
I
like
love
show the
those. I love
comparison.
my favorite are Instagram. There's a couple accounts that I follow that do like they have videos of New York in like 1925 or whatever, and then
Yeah,
juxtapose it with New York today, and then they show the difference, right? Like what has
yeah,
changed and things like that. But ultimately, it's an island. Like there ain't a whole
yeah,
lot you can do other than watch it evolve and kind of exist. And
yeah.
man, if you get it, you get it. And I understand
I
it's
don't, I
not
don't,
for everyone. You know,
I wouldn't want to live there, but I like to look at
that's the thing. Everyone,
it.
so many people say that from the outside. My father has said that. Like, I would
Yeah.
love to visit. My dad said this literally last time he visited New York City. And I saw him. Like, he's like, I love it here. I love visiting, but I would never want to live here. That is Matt. That's me with the rest of the world. I love living in New York and I love visiting other places. I love going back to Wisconsin. I grew up there. That's where my father lives, right? That's where my parents lived. That's where I grew up. I love Wisconsin. I love visiting. But God, if it's like 30 seconds being
Yeah.
there, I cannot
Yeah.
wait to get back to New York. I
Yeah.
want to live in New
It
York.
seems like a cool spot. It wouldn't be a spot for me because
That's fine.
just the way
Yeah.
my blood is boiled. But I want to ask some questions. Right? I
All
don't
right.
want to keep it too long.
Rock
We're
and
gonna have
roll. Let's
15
go.
minutes here, so
Hit me.
let's punch out some questions over here.
Let's go.
All right. I got a whole bunch of them, so I'm just gonna skip stuff. I'm just gonna get the good ones. All right.
Apparently, Jordy
Uh,
Ortiz did something in the Brewers game. Let's go, Big B. Come on now,
oh,
Jordy
there we
Ortiz. Let's
go,
go.
baby. All right.
2-1 Brewers.
So this new Packers look defense, all right. So I have a few banners that kind of cover this, but let me just ask you all into one. How's this defense gonna look like Preston Smith? All right, he's the vet, he's the old man on the block now, which
He
is
is,
weird. He's
right?
like 30. I'm 45.
Well, on this Brewers team, that's ancient, right? Like, it's so young. Yeah, 100%.
So what is this defense gonna look like? Not in press, but Rashawn Gary. We got some videos of him just
Working out.
he's an absolute animal. I don't think
A
I've ever
beast.
met someone like or have watched someone even on video like when I got to meet him. He's so dedicated. He is so like dialed in like
No
100%
doubt.
of the time. And that was a couple years ago when I met him. So like now it's probably even more severe. But like what is this defense going to be like? The linebackers, like just rushing the quarterback. What's the secondary going to look? How is this defense just going to emasculate all your offenses that they encounter and just dominate them
All right.
and dominate them to a pulp?
All right.
Tell me that.
Relax, Matt. I know what you're doing.
You
I
told
know
me
what
to be
you're doing. You're
buzzed
trying
up.
to build
I'm
me up.
buzzed.
Buzzed up. Look, I think what's so fun for Packers fans is that it will definitely look different. The vibe, if we want to use that word, will be different, right? There's zero doubt that I don't want to say it'll be more aggressive because that's so cliched, but you will see a very different mindset, right? As far as what they're asking guys to do up front, especially that front four guys who were you're talking about Rashawn Gary, Preston Smith, guys who were before in Joe Barry's defense standing up, they'll be have their hands on the ground. Let's go let's say Jones, let's say White, let's say old school 4-3. Like the idea though, get upfield, right? Create havoc. And that's more to my mind, that's much more about the guys along the interior, whether that's Kenny Clark, whether that's, Devontae Wyatt, TJ Slayton, who have you. The idea of just get upfield and create havoc rather than I'm going to absorb this block and or double team, try to control what I can, and then shed that block and make a tackle or whatever, affect the quarterback. However, this is about get upfield, create havoc. And then when it comes to the secondary, just the idea, and I know this is cliched and probably 1,000,000,000 people have said this, but the idea that the cornerbacks may actually be allowed to get physical with wide receivers. Not every down. It's not going to be an every down thing, but in certain situations, let's challenge wide receivers rather than playing off and allowing free releases and allowing them to kind of flow through the defense however they want. And then you look at the safeties. Look, I think McKinney is going to be a star in this defense, but a big part of allowing him to do that is going to be one of these most likely rookies stepping up. Javon Bullard is probably the leader in the clubhouse. It could be Evan Williams. It could be Oladapo. Who knows? But one of those guys has to step up and allow him to operate as far as they have to be interchangeable. It's so easy for people to label this like, oh, McKinney's the, quote, post safety. That's great, but he's got to be able to drop down in the box. You can't be predictable. So much of what Joe Barry did was predictable as far as
Yeah.
we know we're going to play our safeties off. We're going to keep everything in front of us. Well, that allows us as an offense to operate easily in front of all that. We're going to challenge people. And yes, sometimes guys are going to win. The offense is paid too. So wide receivers are going to beat the corner every once in a while, and it's going to suck. But we're going to live with it because more often than not, they are going to challenge those guys. We're going to be physical with them. Those linebackers, especially inside, Quay Walker, Edrin Cooper, they're going to be allowed to flow to the football and just make plays. Like, I get that people are excited about it because it is a little bit, it's going to be different, no doubt. But we have to remember, much like on offense last year where we saw lots of growing pains, we're going to see growing pains on defense.
Yeah.
With so much youth, so much new scheme, new players, a lot of people being asked to do different things. That first month in particular, yeah, there's going to be some rough spots. But hopefully you get to midway through the season, defense will start to gel, go to town, win a Lombardi. That's the idea.
We don't talk about that type of stuff on this show.
Fair point. Very fair. Nor should you. Really.
I'm just kidding. So these are going to be some quick ones because we want to get through.
Yeah,
we have 400 people watching right now.
That's kind of crazy, dude.
Casual to you. That's not to me, all right, bud. It's not the most, but you know what I mean? You're not the biggest guest, but whatever. No.
Not even. Dude, you've had Kenny Clark. You've had Preston Smith. I ain't nothing,
Kenny Clark is actually so cool. All right, so let's get to some of these. All right. Who is your favorite player you ever interviewed?
Forever and ever, it'll be Tom Crabtree. Not even a question. I love Tom is the best. He was the most open, the most honest, the most giving with his time and like just openness as far as what he was doing football wise, but also what was going on in his life. Like Tom Crabtree forever.
Dude, Tom Crabtree. What's the best answer you ever got from him? I only want to ask him because I only have a really good answer to it.
I don't know about his best answer, but I will say like my favorite response was when I asked him about the 1-yard reception in the Super Bowl, which essentially sealed a championship for the Green Bay Packers. And he was like, just doing my job. Like, that's it. Like, dude, and he knew like my favorite play of his is not even that play. My favorite play of his from that Super Bowl is when he absolutely completely annihilated. I can't remember who the outside backer was for the Steelers, but there was some guy coming like crashing down, and he just absolutely decleats this dude, and like it's just the epitome of Tom Crabtree in a Packers uniform. I love that.
So, I want to give you 2 stories real quick. I know
yes, sir.
I've got Tom Crabtree on a podcast so many times because when I first started a podcast, he didn't know he was the only guest. So like every 3 weeks he'd come on because I was just like trying to get this thing going.
Right.
Like, very self-conscious. I saw he was the only one that would say yes. Because he was tall.
You gotta start somewhere. Because
he's just a nice guy. All right, so I asked someone one time, what's your most embarrassing moment? Which is like not a great podcast question.
And he was like being on Cheesehead TV.
No. Yeah, he was like, one time Aaron Nagler asked me all these questions about this Super Bowl I was in.
Yep. Makes sense.
No, but he said he was in like 7th grade basketball and they were playing the game, whatever. This kid kept jamming him. He punched this kid in the face during the game. He punched this kid in the face. And then he was
tracks.
And then he like embarrassed. Like he was like, "Oh, I embarrassed my family." And he was like, "Oh, apologize." He was like, "Oh, politician," like with it, whatever. Right. But that was like one of the greatest answers that I got. And there was one other thing with Tom Crabtree, but I forget it now. Anyways, it was good. I should have started with that one because that was a better story.
All good.
All right. Let me ask you this, Nagler. What's the worst question you ever asked at a press conference? You've been at press conferences, right? You're kind of known for asking good questions. You know what I mean? Depends who you ask.
I don't know about that, but I appreciate that.
Have you ever asked a question and everyone was like, "What the? Who let this freaking kid in here?"
Oh my god! What's so funny is like Matt. I gotta be honest. I cannot remember a specific like question where I was like, "Oh my god, that was awful," or I can't catalog like that was the worst question ever, blah, blah, blah. But I will admit, there have certainly been days where I've been in the room, right? And I've asked something. And I specifically remember the feeling of leaving and being like, God, you're such an asshole, Nagler. Like, which is probably how much of the internet feels. But like, there's certainly been times where I've asked something and I've tried to frame it a certain way and I've failed. And like whether it was coach or Rogers or whoever has been like, what the are you trying to ask me? Like, that certainly happens. And look, you're just trying. Here's the thing. Here's what I will say to this. As a member of the media, right? You're never trying to perform for the internet or for the live stream or whatever. It's about trying to get the information, right? So we have become the society, the football society, where Packers there's a very small niche of Packers fans who do tune in to every live stream, right? Whether it's the coach or the quarterback or the coordinators or whatever. And it's like somebody asks a question. It's like, wow, that's the dumbest first question I've ever, like, it'll be the initial question, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's the dumbest question. Why would you start with that? Well, no one gives a shit. It's not about creating a narrative in the press conference setting. You know what I mean? Like, but it's about you have something you're working on as far as content, whether it's a written piece or it's a video or whatever. But you're like, I want the answer to this question. And it's about getting it out there and making sure it gets answered. And yes, I mean, if we're talking like 10 minutes in, it's like, all right, everyone's had a chance. Let's like button this up, right? But initially, it's about, I want to get the answer to my question. And that's fine. Like, it's not about a performance. Everyone views these press conferences, not everyone, but like lots of Packers fans view these press conferences like, oh, this is a presentation. No, it's business.
Yeah.
People are doing business. You get to watch. Shut up and just take what you can from it.
I don't. Like, I watch highlights.
You're better for it.
I've never watched. I've never been like, first of all, after a game, win or loss, if the Packers win, I'm live streaming. I'm gloating, talking shit. Like, yo, thanks. If you lose, I'm coloring, like,
I will say, wait, can I tell you this? No, I'll tell you this. You want a little inside dirt? This is fun.
I do.
Talking about like watching press conferences.
Yeah.
After the Pittsburgh game last year, Packers lose, right? Yeah. And I don't know if you'll remember, but like at the end of the first half, the Packers had 3 timeouts, the ball deep in their own half, but they had time, right? And Love throws a swing pass out to the left flat. I think it was to Jane Reed. Might have been a Dobbs. I can't remember for sure, but it's incomplete, or maybe it was complete, but they get behind the sticks. And now the clock is ticking, right? And at that point, they just basically give up, right? Like they just run a couple other plays and they get to halftime, right? And in the post-game presser, LaFleur says, well, they lost, but like, oh, I'm really proud of the guys. Our whole mindset coming into this game was to compete for 60 minutes, no matter what. This is what we're going to do. And the Packers have lost. I'm a Packers fan. I'm jaded. Yeah. I'm upset. I'm cynical. I quoted it with, Matt LaFleur says, our mindset was to compete for 60 minutes. And then I tweeted, yeah, except for the end of the first half. Thanks, coach. Because everyone had gone into the halftime, even before it was over. So, but then I think it was after I'd done my post-game stream, I got a text from someone inside 1265 who was like, yeah, don't shoot the messenger. But LaFleur really didn't appreciate that tweet. So I will say they're watching. They always say they don't read, they don't watch. They're always watching.
They're not watching my show. I know that.
They're watching. This is my point, Ramage. You think they're not watching. They're watching.
Who do you think is watching my show?
They're watching you, dude. They're watching everything.
You think Goodigans? He's like, yes. Hey, children, gather around.
Okay.
Ramage is talking to Nagler.
Is Goody watching every one of your streams?
No,
but is he aware of it? Yes.
I remember talking to Press Smith back one day. We were talking about I was talking about Aaron Rodgers, like my videos, how they're stupid. And I was like, I doubt Rodgers ever seen him. He's like, oh, yes, I sent him to him.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's how I know Matt has seen many of my frustrating moments.
Yeah, because people send him to him.
Exactly.
It's a beautiful thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's a word for it.
So let me ask you, like, I don't want to keep it too long, but there's a few questions I actually want for my own personal gain.
Yes,
because
sir.
I want to repeat you and copy you.
Yeah, I am sorry. I love Brandy.
No, but Josh Jacobs. All right, Aaron Jones. We all love Aaron Jones. I will love Aaron. Dude, the thing with Aaron Jones, Viking fans, they come at me. We got your boy. We got your Aaron Jones. We got your running back. So like they try to goat me into talking bad about Aaron Jones.
Right.
No, but, I'm like, dude, I love Aaron Jones.
How would you ever?
How do you think he's gonna do in Minnesota? Like,
how
I think
could
he's
you
gonna do
ever?
Great.
Right.
He's on my fantasy football team. I love Aaron Jones. Like, I don't have rival players on my fantasy football team. I don't try to. I'm in a dynasty league now. I didn't know it was dynasty league, but whatever it is. And so now, but Aaron Jones, I love Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones is one of my favorite Packers of all time. Like, he's a good human. Like, he's so good. So you're not gonna go me and talking bad, but like also Josh Jacobs, I'm excited about the Packers because they lost Aaron Jones, but they got a really good replacement. So what do you think about? Obviously you love Aaron Jones.
Love Aaron Jones.
Cheesehead TV. Aaron Jones called you guys out. Tyler Harris.
He called out one of our writers specifically, who 2 years ago said it was time to move on from Aaron Jones, and apparently a year later, Brian Gutekunst agreed.
Yeah,
I'm all I'm saying. I love Aaron Jones. I love everything he did for the Packers, but I will say, this is not hyperbole. I think Josh Jacobs is probably an upgrade. If for no other reason that he can A, stay on the field, and B, can do everything they wanted Jones to do. I don't think there's anything they want to ask Josh Jacobs to do in the Packers offense that he can't do. Like everything that Aaron did, Jacobs can do. Like, there's the one thing in the passing game where you're like, okay, he hasn't done it that much. Like, Josh Jacobs has literally never caught a touchdown pass, ever. In his career.
It's about to change, bro.
That's about to change, correct.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no way that I look at what he has on offer and think, okay, they better shy away from that. And I don't think, LaFleur's been pretty vocal about, well, we're going to utilize him. We're going to utilize him. We think there's untapped potential in the passing game. I think all of that is in play.
Yeah,
I love Aaron Jones. I love Aaron Jones. But Josh Jacobs could be as good, if not better.
Yeah, I love Aaron Jones, and I'll say it to my death. Like, Aaron Jones is like one of the best humans.
Well, you look at everything you did for the team and all the franchise and all the off-field stuff. Yeah, you absolutely love it. But, that doesn't win football games.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, dude, I've learned this because, like, dude, you have favorite players like Clan Dix. I love this man. But, like, he got traded and, dude, that's why I was like, I'm like, bad luck. Preston Smith.
Well, hey, no, you're not. You've aligned yourself with Preston Smith, and he got a third contract. He's still there. He's balling out, and he's a really good player. So
you know what I mean. I think I'm doing all right. But anyway, we got Mr. Aaron Nagler over here, co-creator of Cheesehead TV. Look forward to your Carry the G beer coming.
Dude, can't wait.
This August.
Matt, I'm going to be in town. I'm going to be in Green Bay starting July 25th. And I'll be there through August 9th. Dude, if I don't see you, we're going to have words.
Dude, I want to do a sit-down interview with you.
Oh, God. What is this? What are we doing?
No. I want a sit-down interview with you and get all Barbara Walters on. Talk about your childhood. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe get you and Corey and talk about how everyone knows how Cheesehead TV was created, but I want to get you together and get the dirt.
Needs that.
I want to get the dirt. What did you hate about Corey at one point? And what did he hate about you?
Corey will tell you. Corey knows. It's true. When we first met, I fucking hated Corey.
Yeah,
I hated him with a passion.
He said he wasn't
I'm like
a fan of you.
A burning passion. I hated him. and now we're good friends
Yeah,
and
you are.
partners.
No, and
Love
you
it.
guys have built a beautiful thing, and but give a shout out to some of the Cheesehead TV content creators.
Oh, you gotta make sure you check out everything at Cheesehead TV, whether it's the website, the social, headed by Tyler Herrick. Everybody, all the folks who write at Cheesehead TV, whether it's Corey, whether it's Corey Jenner John, that is, whether it's Greg, everyone over there. I mean, it's amazing. Like the folks that generate the content are incredible, and they're diehard, passionate Packers fans. And look, we've already kind of talked about this, a few times as far as Corey and myself, but what we love about the platform we've built is if you are passionate about the Packers, you want to write about the Packers, right? You want to be one of those bloggers, people covering the Packers, we'll provide you with a platform, right? And a lot of people go on to do other things where they're paid to do it as a living, right? Like something that's their job, whether it's Ross Uglum, whether it's Dusty Evely just got, a gig with Acme Packing Company,
He's
whether
good.
it's, Zach Cruz, who started with us. Like there are lots of people who started writing for Cheesehead TV and found a platform and then found a voice and were able to parlay that into a gig where they, make that their job. So,
That's awesome.
know,
You
it,
guys
it's
never, you
we're
never
really proud of
offered
that.
me a writing gig though. You didn't have faith
Matt,
in my writing
Matt, I
ability,
got to admit, I've never seen you write anything.
dude.
So
You know what's
you do
funny?
it, dude. Produce it, and I'll watch it. I'll look at it.
Someone told me, someone actually sent me way back when I first started Packers stuff. They're like, "Do you want to write for us?" I was like, "Bro, the
Bruh,
T2C is the most I write. I'm not writing.
I'm like
I
this.
don't even read. You know, the only person that I will read, and I don't say it to be edgy and be like, I don't read, and that's not a flex. That you sound
Right.
stupid. But I don't read a ton because of videos, right? And I'm lazy. My brain is lazy too. But
I
Wes
feel that.
Hodgkins, I will read Wes.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
And
there's different
Corey
types of
Corner,
content for
Corey's
everybody.
Corner kind of gets me hooked in once in a while. I try not to, but
Corey
it
Jenner
pulls
John
me
is
in.
a genius. I
Yeah,
will
I
maintain this
will
till I
read
die
Corey's
because
Corner.
I disagree with 60% of his takes, but I read every single one of them.
Yeah,
Yes, the man knows how to frame an argument. No doubt.
and that's what I like. I like the people. I don't like to read. I don't like to read. I don't get enjoyment from it. But
I feel
when I
you.
do
I
read,
feel
I
you.
like to read things I don't agree with
You're a
because
weird you're a weird one, Ramage, but I get it.
I'll read things I don't agree with, but if I'm watching you and I don't agree with you, I just turn you off. I'm like, get off
And
my
you just
screen.
click. Just
Yeah.
click.
But if I'm
Yep.
reading, first of all, when I'm reading, I'm already thinking about tomorrow's activities I gotta do. Anyways, everyone be sure to check out the Cheesehead TV. Aaron
Do
Nagler
it.
interviewed Jordy Nelson, the
Yes,
man
sir.
Jordy Nelson. It's way more interesting. If you listen to this thing this far through, you could have watched that thing 3 times.
Stop. This is far more entertaining.
No, but I think it's great. I think it's great. You do a lot of great interviews, but David Bakhtiari, a few times. I don't know if that was recent. Actually, I was just watching one
We had him on our happy hour, but yeah, and then we just
was
had
that
Brian Gutekunst
yeah
the
other
other couple weeks
Gutekunst, yeah.
ago. Like a
Because
lot of fun. A lot of fun.
2 weeks ago, I was on vacation. I was hammered one night, and I was watching She Said TV old shit, and I was watching David Bakhtiari interview from I think it was training camp. Anyways, you
Right.
going to training camp? You're gonna be there?
I'll be there July 25th, I
Oh,
believe. I fly into
oh,
Appleton. I'll be up there.
let's do a video. Me, you, and Corey. I want to do an interview.
I'm all in. I am
We'll
all in
talk
on
about
this.
your favorite strip clubs.
Those are Corey Banky's favorite strip clubs, sir.
All right, so make
Definitely
sure
not
that Aaron Nagler, I kept you too long already. I appreciate your
You're
time.
good, man. Appreciate you,
Cheesehead
Matt.
TV.
Matt, wait, seriously. Everything
Yeah.
you do is amazing. You are such a conduit to Packers fans. Our whole thing at Cheesehead TV, right, is Packers fans connecting them worldwide. You are amazing at exactly that. You are
I
incredible.
appreciate it.
Really appreciate what you do.
I actually really appreciate it because, like, even anytime I'll say, so I want to go too long because, weird. But like every time Cheesehead TV like reposts my thing on Twitter, or I don't care about the engagement part of it. It's just like that was good enough for them to actually repost, or you, or even Corey.
Yeah,
But like,
all right.
yeah, but it's not the engagement part of it. It's just like,
Right.
like you guys were for me, like the standard, whatever you want to call it. I know a lot of good people now.
Appreciate that.
We got Ryan Slip. Shout out to Ryan Slip. And my guy, the Green Bay guy, my buddy Ben.
Green Bay guy, he's killing it.
You know
he
him?
is fucking killing
All right,
it. I
so
don't know him, but he's killing it. He's killing it.
The last thing I will say to you, he's going to be starting a new podcast. I was talking about having you on. He said, I would love to have Aaron Nagler on. So
I'm in.
Yeah.
Tell him to message me. I follow him on Facebook. He follows me on Facebook. Yeah. Tell him to message me. Easy.
He's going to have his podcast going. It's going to be way better than this one. But like, he's a good friend of mine, and I think he would interview the hell out of you.
I love it. I love it.
I appreciate
Thanks,
you,
Matt. Appreciate
this
you,
is
brother.
Midwest goodbye, right? That Charlie Bear's Midwest
goodbye. Appreciate you, Matt.
I love Aaron Nagler. All right, shout out to everyone who tuned in live, listen on the podcast, whatever. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks, brother.
You're all right. Go Pack, go people.